So I'm back with LaTanya. LaTanya, I saw you a couple days ago. I gave Martin the wheelchair. How's he liking it?
He likes it a lot. Like, he's capable of pushing himself now, so.
It helps him a little bit?
Yeah, a whole lot.
Okay, good. Before that, I saw you guys, and you guys are kind of arguing a little bit, right? You guys weren't getting along. How often does that happen?
Sometimes here and there, like once in a blue moon, kind of, sort of.
Is that just like typical relationship stuff, marriage type stuff, where he upsets you, you upset him, or what?
I would say so.
Okay. And yeah, so now that he has the wheelchair, what happened to the old wheelchair?
He left it at the church.
Okay.
He donated it to the church.
He just set it right there by the church so they could use it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it still functions, right? It's just the new one is going to help him with mobility, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So I saw you out here, and Martin's not around, so I asked you where is he. So he's like on the other side of the street, so I'm gonna go look for him in a little bit. So I just decided to talk to you, see how you're doing, kind of check in with you, kind of get your feedback on how you've been. So I've known Martin now for 2 weeks, but in actuality I had talked to him 2 years ago, right? When he was Jonathan. What's his real name? Jonathan. Is LaTanya your real name?
Yeah.
Okay. And in those 2 years, LaTanya, when I met him for the first time 2 years ago, as Jonathan, he was standing up.
Right.
He was walking.
Yeah.
His feet weren't swollen like they are now. Yeah. His issue back then was his right hip was hurting, right? Because the pain, he doesn't have cartilage, and he been needing a hip replacement for the past 10 years, is what he said, right?
Yes.
And but now he still has that issue, but now it's progressed to the point where he can't walk, he can't stand on his feet.
Right.
His 2 feet are swollen. Do you think he's gotten better, stayed the same, or gotten worse, in your opinion?
Honestly, nothing has changed.
Get your pen off the mic.
Nothing has changed so far. So, just the same stuff. With the sores and the swelling and everything's bad. So.
Where do you think that swelling and sores, where is that coming from? What is that due to?
Man. I honestly I really don't know. It blows my mind what them sores look like to have a hole in the foot, on top of his foot. I really don't. I don't know how that has come about. I don't know.
Could it be like underlying medical issues? Something he's not treating, not dealing with?
Possibly.
It could be that, right? That's kind of what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And like, you understand that if he doesn't get that treated, there's going to be infection that could spread to his blood system, sepsis, go to his heart, and he could just not wake up one day because of the infection. Are you prepared to deal with that?
I don't want to cry again. I don't know.
But have you guys really sat down and talked about like what's going to happen if that? Because you haven't done that.
Really? No, not really.
So have you guys talked about the alternative, going to seek professional medical help, like to a hospital, an emergency room, a doctor?
Man, I'm trying to get him to go to the hospital every day. I tell him, let's go. He just, I don't know.
So LaTanya, you've heard him tell me that I can't go. I ask him, why don't you go? Well, I can't go because the paramedics can't take my wheelchair and all my stuff, and I don't want it gone. Okay, so that's excuse number one.
Excuses, yeah.
The next one is I don't have any insurance, right? That's excuse number two.
That's a lie. He has insurance.
Yeah. And they're going to treat him with the insurance, without insurance, he's going to get treated.
He's going to get treated regardless.
Right. So what I'm thinking is that it's just the addiction. Just he has to be near the pills. He knows that if he goes to the doctor, he's not going to be around them, right? Because they have to treat him. And so that's kind of what I'm thinking. What are your thoughts? Why do you think he's so resistant to going?
I agree with what you said. Shit, honestly, I think that's pretty much why. I mean, I feel like he's scared. I know he's scared. He don't know what the outcome's gonna be. So,
if he stays out here, what do you think the outcome's gonna be?
I think, honestly, death.
You've known him for 10 years? You've been married for 2 years, you guys have a child together?
Yeah.
He's playing just a bad game where, you know, he's running out of options the longer that he stays out here. I don't know, like, what do you recommend? Is there anything I can do further? Is there anything anybody can do further? Or it's all up to him 100%?
I mean, I spoke to his dad, and his dad just told me just take him to the hospital. Don't tell him where you guys are going, and just take him there.
The bad thing about that is he can leave the hospital at his will, and the hospital has to honor that, right?
Yeah.
If he doesn't want medical care, they have to let him go. It's considered against medical advice, AMA. Right. So he has to be willing to get treated.
Correct.
What do you think we need to do as a team, you, me, the subscribers, to really make them realize that this is life or the alternative?
I really don't know. Honestly, like, he just has to go to the hospital. I don't know what we can do or say to him to make him go. Honestly, so.
Let's say he refuses to go, just refuses what you tell him, what you ask him to do, and he just doesn't want help from me, from an ambulance, from a doctor. How much longer do you think his body can last out here in this condition? Not sleeping right, not eating right, not drinking enough water, the infection, both feet, both legs, swollen, because he says that's for the past 2 months. Like, you know, like it can't be forever. So what's gonna happen? How much longer can he endure out here?
It's not gonna last long. It's not gonna last long at all. So,
isn't that sad to think about? To come to that realization, the man you've known for 10 years, the father of your child, your husband, well, that's a possibility. You'll wake up one morning, but he might not. All because he's just refusing to go, right? And I know why he's refusing. Again, the addiction is so powerful. LaTanya, when do you think you might be ready to go get help? Maybe if you got help, if you got clean, then he'd be like, oh, wow, my wife did it, I can do it too. What do you think?
Well, I think that's what I'm gonna have to do. Because I don't want to lose my husband.
You what?
I don't want to lose him.
You don't want to lose him. You love him?
I do.
In spite of the quarreling and the arguing, in spite of all that, you still, that's your man, that's your husband? People were asking me, hey, why didn't you call the police? Why didn't you call the police last time they were fighting? I said they were hugging and kissing 30 minutes later. They're married. Married people argue. Married people, unfortunately, you know, get to those extremes. but you also have to save yourself, right? Because
Right.
you also matter. You're important in this world, right? People pray for you. People want LaTanya to do better, to live the life that you deserve. From what it sounded like, you were upset because you deserve a better life, right? And you were upset and you're taking out that frustration on him. But you got to help out your situation as well too, right?
Right.
Is it hard? How difficult is it to defeat this addiction?
It's hard, but then again, it's not that hard. You just gotta tell yourself no, and just give it up, and that's it. Just wash your hands with it. And I mean, I did it before. I mean, it's really not that difficult.
You did it before from blues or G?
Blues.
Really? Did you do yourself cold turkey, or you had to go
Cold
to a program? Cold turkey. That's how strong you are. Martin told me that. She's very strong. She can do it. Why don't you do it? Maybe that's going to be the last resort. That's what it's going to take to convince him to get well too, right? So LaTanya, I'm going to say thank you very much for talking to me, the update. I'm glad you're still here, fighting another day. I'm going to go look for Martin, see if I find him. And please stay safe, take care of yourself. I'm going to give you my card so you have my number in case you need a ride, somebody to talk to, ride to the hospital, treatment center. Let's try to save Martin, okay?
Yes.
We'll talk soon.
Thank you guys.